Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Noodle Journey with a review of Nissin Raoh soy sauce flavor. If you followed me for a while, you'll know that I didn't care much for the Raoh tonkatsu flavor, but in my last video I tried the Raoh miso flavor and found it to be exceptional. I'm hoping this soy sauce variety will be equally as good. I'm filming this on a cold autumn day, and this is exactly the kind of soup that I'm in the mood for right now. My current favorite shoyu or soy sauce product is Maruchan Gold Soy Sauce, which I just reviewed not long ago, and a special nod to Sapporo Ichiban as well. I like their original flavor. And while Nissin Raoh is a little pricier than Sapporo Ichiban, it is cheaper than Maruchan Gold in my area, and so this might be a good substitute. This will run you around $2 to $3 US, depending on where you get it, and it is available in grocery stores and online fairly easily. My local Wegmans has these all the time. Let's get to it. Sodium check. As is the norm for a lot of soy sauce flavors, this 2,400 milligrams of sodium should not surprise you. 105% of your daily allowance. If you don't want lots of sodium, soy sauce broth is probably not for you. Inside this pack is that beautiful block of round noodles and a liquid soup packet containing, naturally, soy sauce, some ginger, other spices not specified in the ingredients list, and most surprisingly, there is powdered fermented bamboo shoots in this. Interesting. I assume that's to give it a little bit of a funky umami kick. I just had fermented bamboo shoots in the snail noodles I reviewed very recently, and I really like the way they taste, so I'm hoping they bring out some interesting characteristics of this soy broth. Let's cook. As with the other two Raoh products, the soup base goes into the serving bowl while the noodles are cooking, kind of like a tare that you would see in Japanese ramen. When the noodles finish cooking, the starchy hot water goes in here. Give this a quick stir. In go the noodles. Wipe off some of the mess I left on my table and give this one final stir to make sure everything is mixed together. The smell of this is a little similar to the soybean umami I got from the Raoh miso flavor, but certainly more soy sauce forward than miso paste forward. It's a very nice smell, very comforting. Here we go. That is very good. Wow. The noodles are the same as the other two Raoh products we've looked at. I took back my original 7 out of 10 rating for them in the last video and said that they were a 9 out of 10, and that still holds true here. These are great noodles with a chewy texture and a very premium feel. They almost remind me of a spaghetti. You know, it's interesting. I think these are a different shape than the ones in the miso broth. I might have to go back and look, but these look a little rounder, and I think the noodles that came in the miso might be a little bit flatter than these. Well, either way, they're ridiculously good noodles. 9 out of 10, like I said. Spiciness. This is not a spicy soy flavor, just a regular soy flavor. There is nothing hot to report here. This is a 0 out of 10 on the spiciness scale. And now let's talk about flavor. I used to turn up my nose at soy sauce-based soups because I found them in the past to be overly salty without much other flavor. And I'm speaking from both my experience in restaurants and with really cheap supermarket noodles as well. Between Maruchan Gold and this, I think I've changed my opinion on shoyu ramen entirely. There's so much good flavor in here. It's really eye-opening. And as with the best shoyu ramen, it's very comforting. Nissin didn't just give you a bag of plain old soy sauce like some other noodle companies. I'm looking at you, Momofuku. But this is also balanced out with a good amount of ginger, and even though it's not in the ingredients, I definitely taste onion in here. Probably one of the nondescript spices that they stick in the ingredients towards the bottom. There's some oil in the soup packet to give this a little bit of a rich finish, and the soy sauce flavor is bold, premium tasting, salty, umami, delicious. But once again, I have to complain about the lack of vegetables. There's not a scrap of them in here. Like, what gives? Even Snapdragon's products, the most boring cups of noodles I've ever tasted, gave you a little packet of vegetables. Nissin's other products have vegetables in them. So, I'm going to dock points for that. I have to dock points for that. Apart from that complaint, this is a very nice bowl of noodles and broth. And while it might be a little simplistic because it is soy sauce, oil, and spices, it is tasty as hell. With the premium noodle quality in here, the richness and flavor of the broth, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. So let's talk again about how this compares to Maruchan Gold like I did in the last video, because Nissin Raoh is basically Maruchan Gold's direct competitor. I gave Maruchan a 9.5 for their soy sauce flavor, and I'm giving Nissin a 9 for this. So it comes down to slightly more interesting flavors in the Maruchan broth. Plus, I think the noodles are just a little bit better than these. I think the two miso flavors are kind of a wash comparison-wise, but I definitely prefer Maruchan to this one by, well, half a point. If you don't have Maruchan available in your area, but you do have this, you won't be disappointed if this is what you're looking for. But in my opinion, if you have the option and don't mind spending a little bit more, I would recommend Maruchan Gold over this. Just my personal taste. This is still a very good product on its own merits. So with that, we're done with Nissin Raoh for now. YumiBuy.com carries a fourth Nissin Raoh flavor that I'm really eager to get my hands on, but I probably won't be buying that until I get much further into my backlog and need some new products. So until next time, please remember to leave some comments, especially if you have strong opinions on soy sauce ramen broth. Please like and subscribe so we can keep this channel going, and I hope to see you again as we continue on this noodle journey together.